Hi, my name is Kay Sutha. I am a business strategist and I will be your host. In this podcast, I'll be getting raw, real, and relentless whilst interviewing successful entrepreneurs from all over the world who specialize in different aspects of business. We will cover the 5 main pillars of business, which are sales, marketing, finance, operations, and leadership, but not forgetting mindset, live and digital events, plus much, much more. You will gain insights, tips and tricks, and discover jaw-dropping actionable steps that you will be able to put in place for your business right away. Hello everyone. Oh my goodness. I have a special guest for you today. He's from all the way across the other side of the world in Australia, and he has been helping everyday people find joy and fulfillment in what they do to achieve their dream lifestyle. He has been featured on so many different magazines, media such as Success Magazine, Huffington Post, Sky News Business, and many, many more internationally, nationally magazines, podcasts, and radio shows. He is the author of Break Free from Corporate, Be Your Own Boss, and a host of his very own podcast, sharing the wisdom of people all around the world of those that have successfully exited the corporate world. He helps people break free from what's holding them back and then set an actionable vision and a plan to make their dreams a reality. He now teaches entrepreneurs how to carefully map out their journey so that it works in harmony with all areas of their life and to maximize their unique experiences, gifts, and talents. He is here today to share with us why, and more importantly, how to find that spark or that purpose and turn it into an unstoppable mission to drive you forward. Please welcome Gavin Sequeira, CEO of Break Free from Corporate. Oh my goodness, welcome to this podcast, Gavin. How are you doing today?
I'm really well. Thank you so much, Kay. And hi, everyone. And really happy to be here. Thank you for that wonderful introduction.
Oh, no worries. You know what? I needed to give you an awesome introduction. You are a complete rock star. And after I had that conversation with you previously, you're telling me everything that you're doing and the transition that you had. Oh my goodness, anything less than that wouldn't have been, achievable compared to what you've done. And so, Gavin, thank you so much for coming onto my podcast.
You're welcome. Yeah, I'm excited. Let's get right into it.
Awesome. So before we get into the nitty-gritty of what you've been doing and how you've been changing the world for people, tell us a little bit about yourself, especially what you were doing before business and how that transition happened for you.
Yeah, so look, I grew up in a very traditional background. I went to school, went to university, got a job, went straight up the corporate ladder, right? And that's what I was taught to do. And I did really well at that. And I got about 11 or 12 years into that cycle. So basically I worked through the levels, got into management, got into senior management, and I worked for big companies like IBM and Oracle and in marketing and sales. Loved it, traveled around the world, worked with some incredible people. But Kay, let me tell you, I got to a point where one day I rocked up to work, and this was 13 years ago, so I'm showing my age, right? So, but I got into work one day and I felt like something was missing in my life. I felt like I wasn't living my authentic life or doing what I really should be doing on this planet. Not that I wasn't doing good work, I was, but I felt like there was more to do, more to give, maybe help people in a different way than what I was doing. And so that led me down a rabbit hole where I started doing personal development. I started really, reading books, going to seminars, listening to whatever I could to try and rewire my brain and see how I could use my talents and my gifts to help other people out there. And so I got into the world of business really quite by almost like I needed to do something different, and I didn't quite know what it was, but that started me on a journey. And, several years later, it's led to where I am now, but there were a lot of interesting paths that I had to take to get to this point.
Right. Awesome. And you know what? We're going to get to some of those interesting parts because you told me a few of them and you had my jaw drop into the floor. And so we've got to give that same experience to everybody else that's listening. So you mentioned that, you had this feeling that there was something else that you were meant to do, that there was another purpose. Tell me a little bit about that feeling. Like, what happened there? Where did that transition or that feeling come from?
Yeah, so, I would be going to work every day, and the joy factor was missing. So, money, no problem. The colleagues around me, no problem.
Right.
The work-life balance, not a problem, but something was missing and I couldn't put my finger on it. And it started to bug me after a while. And the more I looked into it, I realized my values and what I believed in did not align with what I was doing.
Right.
It didn't mean I wasn't good at it. I was really good at it, but it wasn't me. I suddenly didn't fit in there anymore. Besides all of that, I wasn't very good at the politics and all of those things in corporate. And I could only,
Yes.
I didn't like playing games, and I didn't like all the backstabbing and the infighting and all that kind of stuff. And he said, she said, and I just thought I need to do something. I need to almost go on a pilgrimage or on a mission and get away from everything and find myself. Now, everyone I tried to talk to about this thought I was crazy, because they were like, hang on, Gavin, you've studied, you've got 2 degrees, you've got an MBA, you've got all this amazing experience. Why would you suddenly throw it all away? And the thing is, I wasn't throwing it away. I just needed to find my purpose and really get passionate about what I was doing. And so I started to look at, what were other people doing? Let's get out of this little ivory tower that I was in, and let's focus on what I thought was important in life, and how could I make a difference to others? How could I help people? Yeah. And, that's really the way that I got into that mode of thinking.
Wow. Okay. And you know what? There's probably a lot of people that are listening that have felt this, or probably even going through it right now, and realize that there's something different that they need to do. So I heard that you have this ability to spot people's talents, their skills, turn it into their purpose, and make it a mission for them to drive forward. Tell me a little bit about that. Sure.
So I really discovered this, I won't say ability, maybe superpower, whatever you want to call it, but really it's finding the potential in others. And I recognized this pretty early on, because I had some good people do that with me, and they realized I had potential, and that's what helped me get to the next level every time I needed to do it, whether it was in my work, whether it was sport, whatever it was. So I kind of developed that way of thinking. So I would look at someone, and yes, they might be doing a particular job or task or whatever, but I could always see the potential in them. And for me, it was almost like a challenge to see if I could get more out of them for themselves, get them to get to the next level for themselves. I could only do so much in the corporate world, and really, we had a lot of limitations on what we could do. But when I went outside and I started my own business, I realized I had nothing holding me back. If I was talking to a colleague, if I was talking to a supplier, someone in my team, I could really help mold that person. I could shape that person. I could teach them things. I could help them develop. And that really inspired me. And the more I could see making a difference in other people, I just found it so rewarding. And I really kind of continued that path and sort of refined it into what I'm doing now, which is more on the coaching and mentoring side. And so I'm really here to develop and help other people reach their potential, reach their state of happiness and joy, and do something that really fulfills them in their life. It's easier said than done, but you need to take time out and try to find it, and it's there.
Awesome. And you know what? I like what you mentioned earlier, that the corporate world actually limits you. But the minute you step out of that, build your own business, find what your purpose and passion is now then limitless, right?
That's right.
And it just kind of shows you that the corporate world actually holds you back from being creative, to using your initiative. And, you kind of get stuck in that rut where you can't do much, and you don't really know what your abilities are to the max until you step out of that. And then you realize what you're actually capable of, right? And then you are there as a catalyst to push people forward in finding that out.
Yeah, you're exactly right. Look, I don't really want to necessarily put a negative spin on the corporate world, because it gave me the start I needed. There is a lot of room to grow. but you grow to a point, and it's kind of that curve of diminishing returns, right? Now, unless you're someone who can rise all the way to the CEO or maybe be the head of design in a company and you've got all this creative talent at your disposal, maybe you might be the exception. But for most of us, we get to a point where there's this invisible glass ceiling, and you're kind of put in a box, you're put in a department, you're sitting at a cubicle, you're in a space, and you're one hand tied behind your back all the time. And I just didn't like that restriction on me and my team and people around me. So I just found I had the freedom to be creative and help people when I got out of that environment. Now, was it easy? No. But was it rewarding and fun and challenging? Yes.
Awesome. So tell the viewers, what really qualifies you to be an expert in this field?
Okay, that's a really good question. So what is an expert? An expert, in my opinion, in my humble opinion, is someone who just has experience in the subject matter they're talking about. It's not all about the letters after your name. I do have a lot of letters after my name, but that's not what makes me an expert, right? If anything, it's like, why did I spend so much time studying when I should have been doing? But I feel I've got the experience through having been in 5 different businesses. Okay. So I was in a franchise business. I was in a network marketing business. I ran my own consultancy. I built websites and apps. I sold kids educational software. I did sustainability development and these are things where I worked almost 100% commission only, like in my own type of business, for 13 years. Wow. And I quite often did more than one thing at a time, because when you're thinking as an entrepreneur, nothing just takes off. It's very, very rare. So when you start off with an idea, you need to, it's ground zero, and you need to be doing 2 or 3 different things, and hopefully one of them will take off. And so for me, I would incubate these things, and I keep working and building, finding out I like this, I don't like that, I enjoy this, I don't enjoy that. And I got to a point where I started working with a lot of businesses around the area, advising them on things like marketing and sales, which is my skills. And, that's how I accidentally got into business coaching and mentoring, but I wasn't very good at it. So I had to get my own coaches and mentors that guided me, right, and then help me develop a structure and a program, which I now use to help other people. So I was taught by clever people so that I could share that experience and pass it on to others. If that qualifies me as an expert, then I'll take it. It's really an expert by experience.
Yeah. Yes, exactly. And you know what I like to point out is that working in the corporate isn't a bad thing, because this is where you really find out and hone into your skills and see what you're really good at, and even get to develop on them as you progress further. And then I guess it comes to that point, like you were saying, you get to a point where there's a limit, you can't go any further, and you want to explore more. And that's when you start looking outside of the corporate world. But it's always great to find out, how real life businesses work, right? And actually putting yourself in there, seeing it, figuring it out, and, different ways that people do things. So then, venture out into your own business, right? Which is a great experience, and it hones into your skills. And also something that I always say, a piece of paper, a certificate that qualifies you in something is great, but it is not the end to, you don't need it to build your own business. You need these certificates more when you're actually looking for a job and you want to work into the corporate world. But there's so many people out there, multi-millionaires, that were college dropouts, dropped out of university, and they've made multi-million-dollar companies. They've created it from ground zero, right? Like yourself. And they've not had any qualifications. So you don't need to have qualifications or letters after your name to actually build a business.
Yeah, it's a really good point. And, just look at some of the greatest examples out there. People like Steve Jobs, he dropped out of college. Richard Branson never finished school. Mm-hmm. You've got people who built incredible businesses. They even had learning disabilities and things. Like Richard Branson is dyslexic. Yeah. So forget about the letters after his name. Even if he had them, he probably wouldn't be able to recall them. But he had a passion, he had determination, and he had this vision of what he wanted. And he saw like a lot of us, when you think as an entrepreneur, you see problems, you see where there's a gap in the marketplace, and it's like, how can I address it? How can I fix that? How can I add my services to make that, create a solution and make someone's life better? And if you can do that in any small way, you've got an opportunity for a business. And then obviously you put systems behind it and things like that. So look, it's exciting. It's a challenge. It's not for everyone, but can everyone do it, or can everyone try it? 100%.
Great. Awesome.
Yeah.
So is there a principle that you could teach our audience today that they can relate to or even immediately apply?
Yeah, for sure. So one that I talk to a lot of people, which you do get taught a lot in the corporate world, is have a plan, right? So what do I mean by plan? Firstly, you've got to be able to write down what it is you want to achieve. Now, when you are in the corporate world, usually you have a vision or a mission from the company, then your department has their vision or mission statement, and then your manager comes to you and goes, okay, Kay, this is what you're going to do, and here's your targets and KPIs, and you track yourself week to week and month to month and quarter to quarter, and hopefully it all aligns, right? And then you get assessed on it. You take that same mindset as an entrepreneur. So whether you're starting off in business or you've been in business for 20 years, it really pays to have that level of discipline. So have a vision. Where is it that you want to be? Write it down. You must write this down. And then go down one level. So the first level is 3 to 5 years. The next level would be 12 months. Where do you want to be 12 months from now? So it's a little bit more achievable, right? Mm-hmm. The 3 to 5 year vision is a pie in the sky. I want to be this. I want to do this. I want to achieve that. 12 months is, look, I might still be in the same position I am now, but I might have this thing created. I might have this thing set up. I might have these systems in place. I might have hired this person or whatever. And then you chunk it down one level lower, which is a 90-day plan. So over the next 90 days, what am I going to do day to day, week to week, to make sure that I achieve my 12-month plan? And then you look back on it and make sure that it's all aligned. So if you've got a high-level goal and you're doing activities here and they're not aligned, then something needs to change, because you'll either never achieve that goal or you're wasting a lot of time being busy doing the wrong activities. Exactly. So I think if you can take that one lesson and just apply it in business, you will be successful to some degree.
Okay, so I'd like to talk a little bit more about you saying, writing down your vision, and kind of creating this plan. Well, writing down a vision, does that mean, writing sentences down? Does it mean journaling or having a vision board? What does that mean?
It's a combination. So you can do. So I've been doing vision boards for the last 11 years. I actually have a vision board on my computer, on my desktop, cool. And I have it in a few other places as well. And I look at it every day. In fact, if someone stole my vision board, I could recreate it like inch by inch, because I know it by heart. And I prepare my vision for the next year around October, November previous year, if that makes sense. So in a couple of months, in 2-3 months, I'm already thinking what my 2022 is going to look like. Wow. So that's the kind of foresight you need to have, because regardless of what happens in the economy or what happens around the world, you need to know where you're going. So the universe will create obstacles for you to navigate, for you to find your way there. If it was easy for everyone would be achieving their goals. You wouldn't even know that you achieved a goal, because it's not really a goal. Everyone's achieving it. But because it's challenging to do so, the victory or the achievement is so much more sweeter, because you had to overcome things. Yeah. More than likely, you had to overcome fear, and you had to overcome your own limiting beliefs. So I think if you write down goals, if you have a vision board, if you have numbers that you put, I want to achieve this by this date and this time and X amount of dollars and whatever, be really precise. It gives you a pointer at which to aim for. Does that make sense?
It does make sense. It does. Do you know what? I don't know if you've come across anyone like this, but I know I have. When I've asked people, what their goals are, what they want to achieve, how they actually see their life, some of them are just oblivious. They've never even thought about it. So, right. So for those people, where would they start? How would they even start thinking about where they want to be?
Well, look, if you've never done it, it's a little bit tricky, because you're actually talking now about yourself. So you've actually got to get into an environment, a space that is that allows you to think. So some people like to, go for walks. They like to sit in the park, or they like to lay on the grass, or whatever it might be, or do yoga or meditation, or listen to some really dull music, just so that you can zone out and then really start thinking about, where do I want it? If I do nothing at all, next year is going to be a repeat of this year,
right?
In some way or shape.
Yeah.
And if you don't want that to happen, you need to do something different. Albert Einstein famously said, expecting a different result and doing the same activity is insanity, right? So we need to know that for us to get from here to here, something has to change, and it's us that has to change. So for us to change, we need to step out of our comfort zone. For us to step out of our comfort zone, we need to be doing different things, different activities. Maybe we need to talk to new people. We need to grow a different circle of friends and people that of influence. Maybe we need to read different books. We need to listen to different podcasts like this, for example. Or, we need to learn some new skills, or we need to ask better questions. All that sort of stuff. It's worth thinking about, guys, because if you don't do it, who's going to do it for you? Right. If you're the CEO of your life, of your business, and you don't take control, no one is going to do it for you. You're just going to end up year after year. Before you know it, you retire, you're on the pension, and you can still have a happy life, but you wouldn't have achieved the things you said you were going to do, and you're going to have regrets, and no one wants that.
Awesome. So what I'm hearing from you is, if you've never done this before, then you need to be able to put yourself in an environment to inspire you. Right. That's right. That's what I got. Right. So you need that level of inspiration to able to kind of think outside the box, think outside your comfort zone, what you're really used to inspire you to think about where you really want to be. So that's amazing. Thanks a lot, Gavin, for that. Now, tell me, and actually tell our viewers, we would love to hear a few of your recent success stories that you've had with your clients.
Yeah. Wow. Okay. So, a couple come to mind. I'm going to give you one of a lady and a man, right? So we'll be gender equal.
Awesome.
So let's start with women. Okay, so we'll start with one of the ladies who's a bit of a rock star client of mine. She is a teacher, so she's in her sort of early 50s, and she's a music teacher, and she has been in the industry for 30 years. She is a family person, got kids, loves teaching. She's just really very good at it. And she does musical plays and all of that. And she's getting to that point where maybe in the next few years, she's going to be looking at retirement, right? I'm talking 10, 12 years sort of to go. And she approached me and said, well, Gavin, I don't really want to retire. I love teaching. I don't really know what I'm going to do. And it's kind of bothering me. Mm-hmm. So we started talking about, well, what do you love doing? Yeah. And it was very clear with her that she loved teaching.
Right.
And the thing that she found that a lot of her students struggled with, and this took us a little bit of time to get to this point, was they lacked confidence. They lacked, performing on stage and all of that. So guess what she has done to fast track it? She has now set up her own program, her own online program, where she mentors kids all across the country. She does it, online at home, and she helps them with their confidence, with their, she talks to them about performance anxiety and things like that. Oh, wow. And obviously she can, pass on her knowledge and skills with music and all of that, but she's now able to make a difference in kids' lives. And I'm talking, the senior high school students, which will empower them for the rest of their life, because these skills can then be applied in the workplace and forever. And so she's doing some really valuable work now, using her skills as a teacher, using her knowledge of what holds people back, created her own program, and she can do this till she's 80 if she wants. There's nothing stopping her. So she's created not just an income source for her, but she's doing something she's passionate about and that she loves. And so I count that as a success story, more for her than for me. But she's able to do something that that excites her every day. So that's one. If we've got time, I'll share another.
Yeah, please do so.
Okay, so another one would be, so this is a guy that I'm thinking about. Now, he is a HR professional, okay, and works in corporate, suit and tie guy. And his skills are people skills and in solving problems and all of that. So he's in charge of HR. He's a very senior guy, and he manages I think about 4,000 or 5,000 people in the organization, right?
Wow.
So he's a very senior guy.
Yeah.
But again, family guy, loves what he does, but wanted to do his own thing. And so he approached me, and to fast track it, a couple of years later, he set up his own HR consulting business. Again, look at the trend here. People not doing something that's completely outside of their comfort zone. It's something that they know that they're good at, where they can use their current skills and talent and experience and put together something where they can now impact other people, not just in their job. So now he still works at that company, but he has a thriving business on the side where he consults, he provides HR solutions, he's building a team, and he's almost doubled his income. And last year, not last year because of COVID, but the year before, he took his family on a 1-month holiday all around Europe. He's got 2 kids, all expenses paid by the company, by the profits from his business. And when he said that, and he was also able to put money towards a charity of his choice, I just went, that is amazing. And now he can see a clear path where one day he can walk away from his corporate job and just do his business because he loves it.
Yeah.
Do you see what I'm saying? Yeah.
Wow. Do you know what's crazy about that, and what I really love is that he actually had a full-time job and was able to build a business alongside, doing pretty much exactly the same that he's doing in his job, in his 9 to 5. And not only has he been able to build his business on the side, but now he has 2 different income streams. Right?
He's got 2. Yeah, that's right. So, yeah.
And we both know how important it is to have multiple different income streams, and he's done exactly that. And you don't necessarily have to leave a job to go build a business. You can build one as you're working a 9 to 5 as well, and then eventually leave when you're making a certain amount for you and your family. Right?
That's right.
Completely achievable.
Yeah, 100%. I mean, I never tell people that you need to do this and then quit your job and put yourself at risk. You do it in your own time, in your own, when you're feeling comfortable.
Right.
But, you can enjoy the 2 incomes for as long as you want. And that's the exciting part. Because if you can find 5 hours a week at a minimum, and we all can,
yes,
you can build a business on the side. You really can. And you put as much time towards it, and the more effort and time you put towards it, the more you'll get out of it. Treat it like anything, right?
Right.
So
exactly.
It's exciting.
Awesome. Oh, I love that. Amazing. So I know people would want to know this, but how would they get to contact you? Where would they find you? And do you have any additional free support that people can maybe download or get their hands on?
Yeah, 100%. So look, people can reach me through LinkedIn. I'm sure you're going to put the links and all in there.
Yes.
So if you look up my name, Gavin Sequeira, if you look up Break Free from Corporate, that will point in all the right directions. My website is breakfreefromcorporate.com. And on there is a free ebook that you can download. Now, that ebook has been viewed over 400,000 times at last count. And not that matters, but the great thing is a lot of people have read the principles in there, and those principles will help you to plan your transition out of corporate if that's something you're looking at doing. It's not going to give you all the answers, but it'll get you thinking. And so that is available to your entire audience for free. They can just go onto the link, breakfreefromcorporate.com /8/bulletproof 8-bulletproof-ways. I'll give that to you, and you can put that in the notes, and people can download that. And I'd love to hear your feedback from anyone that reads that.
This is the stuff that people need to hear. People need to know that this is completely possible. And again, thank you for coming on the show and explaining everything that you do and that these things are possible.
Thank you very much, Kay. And I love the work that you do as well. This is a fantastic podcast that you put together, and you're impacting lives just by sharing good information. So I'm just really honored that I could be a part of your show as well.
Oh, of course, definitely. And you know what? I would love to have you come back on the show, maybe in a few months, because there's going to be a lot more for you to share for our audience as well.
100%. Thank you very much, Kay.
Thanks. Bye. Thank you for your time and listening to Uncensored Society Podcast. All resources mentioned throughout the episode will be added to the show notes, and you'll be able to find them at the bottom as you scroll down. Don't forget to go ahead and subscribe and leave a review in iTunes. Thank you once again.